Hi everybody and welcome to another By Pen and Paper streams. This should be considered as kind of a vlog. It's gonna be a bit longer on this side, but it is something special. It is something that I don't really talk about that much. I mean, I talk about it in passing on the channel, but I don't think I've done a full-on report, recap, or whatever you can call it, vlog from it. I tried to do it last year. I even recorded a bunch of stuff, but then week after week it just prolonged. When I'm recording this almost 2 weeks since Gamescom. We were talking about Gamescom 2023. So something like that happened last year. I recorded the stuff and I ended up just not doing anything because it was like 2 months or maybe like a month after I got the strength to do it because a bunch of other stuff, but that's beside the point. That's this distraction. That's beside the point. We're not here to talk about my lack of professional commitment to this bullshit that I'm doing. But let's do it today. Let's do it for this year, and let's see how this goes. And maybe I did record last year and I forgot. I did a vlog, maybe not. I'm not gonna check my channel. I don't care what I have on my channel. In any case, a little bit about history about Gamescom. Gamescom came about at 2009. It is a European-based game convention. It's at this point, and I do believe for many years in the back, one of the biggest world gaming conventions. I'm not counting E3 because E3 sucked even when it was, running for the past few years, and now it died, so it's dead. And Gamescom has no competition. Yay! But funny thing about that is, I went to a similar kind of convention in 2008, which was Gameplay, I think it was called, or something like that. It was in a completely different city. It was completely different setup, more or less, and that is that's when my spark for going to these conventions kind of started. And oh no, I saw something. It was Games Convention. It was literally just called Games Convention at Leipzig. Let's switch around to the different screens so you can guys see what I'm talking about. So yeah, it supersedes the Game Convention held in Leipzig, Saxony, Germany. I think it was basically the continuation of that. Like, it was just Game Convention renamed, rebranded, moved to another city, and stayed there. In any case, I do believe I have been on every Gamescom. Like, I started coming on 2009 because I wanted. I think it was Games Convention was supposed to be in 2009. I couldn't make it. Then I heard about Gamescom, and then I decided to do everything I can to go there. Basically, I visited every Gamescom every year. Like the only year that there wasn't any, it was like the what was it? It was the online in 2001. And I think the 2020 was cancelled, and maybe like even the 2019. No, 2019 was the last one before like 2022 and then 2023. It is, there is additional stuff. There is Gamescom Developer Conference along with it. That started like 2 days before that. There is also now an Asian version, or like what was it called? I think it's just called Gamescom Asia, and it's in Singapore, I do believe. But yeah, my knowledge is not that great, even though I'm going here every year, and my brain is just deciding not to cooperate with me today. I mean, there's the Asia Game Show, but there is a Gamescom version. Let's see if they have. No, there's nothing. Nothing here. Huh? In any case, Gamescom. Gamescom is the thing. Gamescom is the biggest gaming convention in the world. Nobody can tell me otherwise, and nobody can convince me otherwise because I like Gamescom and I like going to Gamescom. So, First few years I was going as just a regular visitor, then next few years. Oh, wow! Thanks for the follow. Let me just cut it. I do 3 times 3. Thanks for the follow. As I said, Gamescom. I've visited as a regular visitor a few years. Then I visited it as a press, but I wasn't really doing much because I'm a dumbass. Then I decided to just go full on business area press, and year after year now I have been doing bundles and bundles. Like, this is a whole list of interviews, like one after another, that I try to pop off, and many others that I just did on the spot with people I found in the area. So the years have been good. I've been collecting a lot of swag, a lot of crap, a lot of stuff that I could, and the previous 2 years I even went to opening night live. So I think that's is pretty much what we should start on. Gamescom follows like a plan of like 4 days. 4 days for exhibitors, for people to visit, but there is a 0 day, like day before, that is only for trade visitors and press. Trade visitors, you can be pretty much anything. You just need to submit that you are working somewhat adjacent to the gaming world to get access to that ticket. That ticket is bought. And for press, of course, you need to be press. You need to do something. You need to be an influencer, probably, and stuff, other stuff. So, no, that's not what I wanted. Yes, actually, technically, we should start with opening night live. Let's check a few things. Game Awards. Yeah, let's go to the official stream. No, boy. Yeah. I will have to thank my friend for getting me a ticket this year, because I was really struggling with funds. And yeah, that's how I could go and see all that is happening in Gamescom, like, not Gamescom, basically the opening night live, which is again the day before everything. Like, you have, what was it, Thursday through Sunday, it's the regular visiting. Then Wednesday is the day for press and trade visitors, so you don't have insane lines. You can do business, you can go experience the exhibition area, even the market area. And then you have a day even before that, on Tuesday, when we have the opening night live. I'm gonna wow, okay, skip. It lasts around 2 hours, but the fact is, while we are there, while we are, you know, getting seated, the first half hour, which is basically the preamble, you know, lead up to it, it's this. We don't get to see this, which is funny. Like, they don't, if they have giant beams, they could do, you know, not giant beams, giant screens, they could actually show this, which is cool because they show a lot of indies in this. And during my visits and talking to some, you know, developers, they told me, hey, have you seen our trailer of Opening Night Live? And I'm like, no. Oh, that was in the pre-show. Yeah, this is the pre-show. And I'm like, okay, that's why I missed it. So this is it kind of sucks that they don't do that, because this looks funny. I don't even know what it is. We're gonna skip through a few because, yeah, Streets of Rogue 2. Okay, this looks really funny. Yeah, Jeff Keighley talking about something, more trailers, which again, I would love to have seen them on the pre-show, but sure. Oh yeah, I think they also show something that I... Oh no, this isn't permanent, so this is something else. This is a VR game for horror. It's just kind of a weird thing. They give us like a half an hour to set up, or even more. They did they tried to up the security since what happened to Jeff Keighley on the Game Awards. uh, we had to go through a butt-ass long line to get like a stamp on our hand that we have the ticket, that we can get in, but we already have the ticket, we can just scan it. It was just dumb, the line was dumb, the idea of that was dumb. There was like scanning booths, not booths, like, you know, pass-throughs, so you don't bring a gun or something. They were checking bags, but even though checking bags was ridiculous, like I just opened the bag and that's, you know, they barely look at it. So I'm not gonna look through the whole opening night live because it's already late. I mean, it's everybody who wants to see it saw it. The Game Awards I will stream and all that if I, you know, don't fall asleep. But the thing about this is, it just bothered a few people. It didn't really help that much, and depending on how early you get there, you can get pretty good seats. But they're not numbered, so you can just go there and see. The seating is in a giant hall, which might be a bit difficult to see if you have like a tall person in front of you, but again, that's not that specific. You just want to go there and see everybody and all that. There is a VIP also section later on where you can go do interviews if you have like a bookings. They did a lot more Congress stuff, and like I think Todd Howard even had a talk or something like that, like a presentation, which I only learned after, so that kind of sucks. But if you have connections, if you have PR, if you have, you know, people sending you stuff, then, you know, you can probably get into those. I could probably get into those. I have a few skills and a few ways to, you know, sneak in. Even here is like chilling to watch. Opening Night Live was good. Like, I had fun. I saw a few things. I was surprised. I'm somewhere in that crowd. If you can see, you can probably not see me. Maybe I should have something specific. Like, I usually bring like the thing from Guild Wars, like a commander tag. I should probably have something like that, something specific, so I can see myself there later on, because the camera flies all over the place. And yeah, Jeff Keighley, Game Awards. I am not gonna. Why we don't have sound is because I'm talking over this and I'm talking about this and about the games. So I'm not gonna talk for 2 hours. I'm gonna skip a lot. But I'm gonna just get the intro. So we see where was it? No, I think it's after the first intro for. Okay, what do I have here? Starfield. Early access. Well, they lied. I thought it was gonna be early access, like the game is gonna be in early access, which all Bethesda games are for like 10 years. But it's like early access as in early access to the game. Let's see. The concert was good. I mean, the music, the dude was performing really nicely. If you want to watch this, you know, just go to the original video and watch. And I'm somewhere of the... Yeah, I'm actually in the middle of this line. Just to the left. I wasn't sitting right alongside. But I was like here. So I was probably caught by the camera at some point. I'm not gonna watch through all of this to figure it out. But, you know. Maybe I will. Maybe I will get a screenshot of myself. I am vain. I am somewhat vain. Where is it? Where is the moment? I think it's about now. Yeah, early access begins September. I thought that was like the game is gonna be in early access, not the game is, you know, early access to the game. I didn't see that because I was laughing and thinking that was in early access. Okay, does he get? When does he get jumped? Because Jeff Keighley is just disappointed at us. Because somebody tried to get like, where's GTA 6 or some crap like that. Everybody saw the incident. Yep, there it is. There it is. And the other guy. Wow. Okay, I noticed this kind of late. like I didn't notice the first second of it, but when I was there, but I did notice something was happening. We were kind of like crowded, so I didn't get a clear shot. But this is funny. That one dude is actually, I think, what I heard later on. He's actually done this before, and the other dude that shows up, that has a tag on his T-shirt, just tries to be, I don't know, famous, fails. Yep. And wow, the security just jumps from multiple locations. Yeah, I saw this. The moment I saw multiple people getting there, like okay, something's happening. The guy probably got capped behind by Jeff Keighley personally. But yeah, disappointing. It was kind of funny. I knew that nothing bad was gonna happen, honestly. But it was kind of, it's funny now in hindsight. But the fact that somebody did this again was kind of like, really. Okay, more Starfield. You're already playing Starfield. I don't need to talk about this, talk about anything. But this I should talk about. This is Little Nightmares 3. And actually I'm gonna talk about it later on when I do the Bandai section. But this was a pleasant surprise. It was actually a pleasant surprise. They also announced, I think, the Sounds of Nightmares podcast. So the developers are going to be talking about the game and who knows what else in the game universe. But yeah, this was a nice and pleasant surprise to see there. I enjoyed the trailer, I enjoyed listening to the developers, and later on a little bit of the presentation, where I got a little bit more of the game. Well, not more. We got basically shown gameplay. Wukong. What can I say? Son Gohan or something like that. The basic Chinese mythological. Yeah, this is Chinese. He's the mythological dudes that gets shown in most video games or talked about and stuff like that. The trailer was fun, the mechanics were interesting. I don't know, it looks more actiony, more faster than usual Dark Souls kind of games, but we will see how it goes. Where's the action? We need to action, not to the headless musician. Yeah, it seems like it's gonna be way more action than there's superpowers and Elden Ring, inspired a lot. But I do believe it's gonna be. You're not gonna change the weapon because I haven't seen him wield anything else but the staff, and that is his, signature weapon. So next, what was next? Oh yeah, I had no idea what this was until the last moment. When I should have known, because it's kind of their thing. Killing Floor 3. That's all we got. The trailer. Maybe there was some presentation somewhere, but that's all I saw. And I mean, looks like more of the same, more of the shooting, more of the nastiness, more of the insanity. People who like that will most definitely enjoy it. Just that moment is, damn, that's nice. Next, we have Game Pass, Age of Empires 4, I think Anniversary Edition. Age of Empires, one of the most legendary strategy games ever. I would play it. I would love to get back into some RTSs like this. I have fallen off so long ago. And yeah, they have also, I think, done a console version, so console players can enjoy this as well. I should speed this up. I have like 30 interviews to talk about, so there's gonna be a lot of here. Crimson Desert. Literally nobody knows what this game is. I tried to get an interview, I missed them. They kind of... Oh no, this is first Rebel Moon. Sorry, first Rebel Moon. Rebel Moon, Netflix, comes December 22, part 1. Then part 2 at some point. Then a video game. If you watched this, you know that the dude has no idea what the video game probably is, or what it does, or what it's gonna be. So it might be just a shitty, movie tie-in, or it can be actually good game. For once, maybe. Anyway, Crimson Desert. Oh yeah, the game company that's making his game is Super Evil Megacorp. If you know them, then you probably know what they're making. They showed the trailer for Rebel Moon. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Gotta watch it. Yeah, Crimson Desert. Nobody knows what the fuck this game is. At least I don't. It has everything. The game is everything. It has all of the mechanics of everything. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like literally, what the fuck is this supposed to be? Just give me, there's Assassin's Creed parkour. There's, I don't know, Red Dead Redemption. There is the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, jumping, teleporting, flying, kiting. It's just like it looks like here. It looks like Black Desert Online on steroids and all of the insanities. Look, it's just like what the heck is the game? Anyway, Payday 3, more Payday, more 3, more shooting. Yeah, they showed us a specific heist, but that's okay. AC Mirage, what did they show about that? I don't think they showed much. Yeah, just the trailer. That's pretty much it. We have Tekken 8, Family Feud. That is everybody's problem. There were some good stands about that, but yeah, that's it. Coming to January. Okay, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, because that's now Call of Duty. It's Modern Warfare until everybody and their dog gets bored of it and they decide to, I don't know, make something else. Probably not. Next is Nightingale. I've talked to the devs about Nightingale a little bit, and it's gonna be weird. I don't know if it's gonna succeed as much as they would like it, like Valheim did, but at least it adds another kind of like a remnant vibe to all of this, which I would play. No offense, I would actually play because it looks fun, and the way you can, go into different gates and get stuff is good. You can kind of have a safe area more or less to build, and then you go to different dimensions to do shit. But the first person, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be Rust with extra steps, maybe not. I don't know. At least you can do this. Fly like Mary Poppins. Next, Grand Blue Fantasy. Record, I think it's the name. Oh, that was it. Did I skip? No, I went to Zenless Zone 0. I skipped a few. Yeah, Grand Blue Fantasy. Relink, which actually I am very much excited for because it's a good anime. It's based on a mobile game, as far as I remember. Then anime came out to just give you the basics of the story. Then this can be an actual game which can be fun and interesting to play with. We have Immortals of Avernum, which crashed and burned, I think, at release because it's just too much, I think. Zenless Zone 0, new trailer. There was a chance to, try it out on Gamescom. I missed my chance, sadly, because the lines were too big. But I mean, it's gonna be coming soon, or soonish, or I don't know. So I will play it there. Star Rail had new characters shown from the new patch, which is already out. Genshin Impact is announcing a concert, which I think everybody will, that likes that is gonna enjoy. Next, it's not the Lords of the Fallen. I talked to the guys. Somebody in marketing decided to eat the D, so they removed it. looks cool. Would like to play it. I don't know how difficult it's gonna be. Good luck to the devs. Like, people didn't really enjoy the first one, but this one could have even gotten out without even having the same name, because it's completely different feel from what I see, and it is a cool field. It's really interesting. It even, you could consider it a bit Lovecraftian, but you know, they could have made a new game, new IP. The Sonic Superstars, a 4-player co-op game that reminds you of the old Sonic games. Finally, they figured out that this is what people want, not 3D Sonic, and it looks amazing. To be fair, it just like the old games, and even more. Like, truly, this might be the best Sonic game in a while. Next, Sonic Frontiers? Yeah, Frontiers Final Horizon, so probably last DLC or something, until they need to print more money. First Descendant, crossplay, beta, good luck to them. I tried it, I played it. It has a lot of things, it's a little bit crowded with stuff that it wants to do, but, you know, it just depends on the optimization, because the optimization for now, it's not that great. Under the Waves, which has already come out. I've heard good things about it. It's a nice, you know, scary feel game. I would love to play it for the channel. Fort Solace is again another horror-like game, but this time not underwater. It's gonna be in space. Yeah, this is Jeff Keighley brought a lot of devs. He brought a lot of people working on this, and not just, you know, here's Troy Baker. He didn't bring just so low-level guys. He brought a lot of big names. Next, I can't read my own handwriting, so I need to, you know, check it. Expeditions, a Mud Runners game. Anybody who likes Mud Runners and has enjoyed that, and my internet is hopefully not fully dying right now, because, please, internet, yeah. It's basically more Mud Runners. I did an interview, I'll talk about it a little bit later, but it is in, no, it's gonna be fun. Oh yeah, The Crew Waterfest, which I think is, no, it's coming out soonish. I really have fallen out completely with like racing games, and this is one of the worst ones. Give me the Need for Speed. Then we had a trailer for Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, which it brings a lot of good stuff, to be fair. It brings a lot of things and a lot of free updates. So, you know, wait until all of the DLC is out to play the best version of Cyberpunk. Next is Stormgate, which, if I remember correctly, I didn't really write all the details for everything, sadly. Stormgate, what was Stormgate? Oh yeah, I think they gave a reward or something. No, this is Last Enoch. Where is Stormgate? Oh yeah, they gave a reward for like the greenest developer, which is hilarious. Like, absolutely hilarious, but sure, let's... Yeah, Stormgate was... They have good... Oh, yeah. Stormgate is the new RTS that wants to be the new Red Alert. Which, who knows? We haven't had that in a long while. It could be good. They even got the dude who did music for, I think, the beating world. Mike Aplachi, I think is his name. Last Enoch. It looks like an interesting action RPG, you know, Diablo-like, but I don't see anything new. Like, they're not really reinventing the wheel or doing anything exceptional well. It could just be a very solid action RPG that you will play and then, you know, move on. And Marvel Snap, which has some of the best, you know, animations since forever that Marvel had in like their shows, which is sad. Like, when a trailer for a card game has better animations and, you know, stuff that you can watch than most of the shows they produce related to the Marvel universe. Whatever. Armored Core 6, which again everybody is playing by now. You all know what it is. You know you can't get past the first tutorial boss. Warhaven, which is something. It's a free-to-play game and something. So we will see how that. Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be PvP. We'll see in a few weeks. Mortal Kombat 1, resetting the universe once again, with some interesting lore, and even more blood, and murdering, and dismemberment. Next is something. Oh yeah. The thing that doesn't want to be civilization, but is civilization, because that's it. Arab history untold. It's basically Civ. I don't know how else to explain it. Diablo 4, new season! Vampires! Yeah! Woo! You can be a vampire! Woo! Yay! The best thing, the two best things you can do to rekindle, will for people to play the game. Make them pirates or make them vampires. That's literally it. If this doesn't get you players back, nothing will. It's simple as that. Dustborn, a very interesting story or like trip-based game. It has combat. I did an interview with them, so I'll talk about that when I get to that. But I'm surprised. This is actually a big surprise for this Game Awards, and of course the last biggest surprise that we all knew was Alan Wake, and we got the Max Payne in the flesh here, which was amazing. Like, it was so cool seeing him, even from a distance, a long distance. No. So yeah, same link. Let's get to the actual video games. I'm gonna just play their trailers because, again, I don't want to get copyright claim by anything. So, Warden's Rising was the first interview I managed to get. It is from Big Moxie Gaming, and it is going to be a PvE centered 4-player co-op. There's going to be a solo and a multiplayer campaign. It doesn't really show that well in the trailer, or you don't really can guess it from this, maybe from like gameplay trailers and all that, but this is actually a tower defense game. And honest to goodness tower defense, where you have like 1 or 2 lines or more as the game progresses, of like enemies coming around, and then you need to defend. You have 5 characters for now. There's gonna be 10 pets, which are like the drones that are flying around the characters, which allow you to do some additional stuff. There is good traversal options, like you can double jump, fly a bit, glide, so you can get from a place to place, to defend it, to repair it, pretty quickly. It's going to be pay to play, from what I've wrote this. The games are gonna be like 15 minutes, so it's not gonna take too long. For when you have friends that have jobs and all that, and you need them to help you around the level, which is kicking your ass. Can I do this? No, but I can pause this. So yeah, it's a hero shooter, it's a base defense, and non-stop action, more or less. So as far as level goes, there's gonna be 4 bosses, around 24 maps, 16 missions. Some maps are gonna repeat, depending. And anything else that comes later in the game, it's gonna be the DLC in the form of missions, characters, and campaigns. But you can probably play this endlessly with whoever you want. It is a good mix of genres, but not something that would probably make me want to play this a lot. So that's the thing that's kind of not gonna work fully for me. Okay, one of the interviews that was really interesting, which I don't usually do when I go to Gamescom. I do usually interviews with just gaming But I tried to do... Well, I got an offer, and I did try to do a hardware review, or at least an interview with that. So I got... because I had some issues with my Switch, mostly Joy-Con drift, this was also a cool thing for me to try. And to, you know, get in touch with these people and talk to them. It is the Nitro deck for Switch. Is this the end of the trailer? Yeah, let's return it to something a bit more here so we can talk about it properly. Where's it? Something Nitro deck. I don't know. Can you get the proper image? Nope. Never mind. Let's just go with this. It is compatible with the OLED Switch and normal Switch, of course. It's coming out pretty soon. It's limited, you know, production, and you can also order it like from them. The company is it's said here somewhere. CRKD, which is a branch company that is completely dedicated to gamer stuff, to gamer development. So this is going to cost around 70 euros, so probably 70 bucks. It's gonna have a cracked app, which you can modify stuff, and I'm pulling a lot of this out of my brain because I didn't write off everything because it's so cool. This is a bit of a bulky thing, so it is big, but it is big for a reason. Not just because it has good switches, you can replace the top part of your analog sticks. The buttons feel great. There are more buttons on the behind of the switch, this dock or deck, which you can program. You can macro them. You don't need to just program them for specific buttons. So yeah, no stick drift. That's what they're promising. So that's cool. You can swap your tops. You can play your own way. You have programmable back buttons, which are very easy to program. You can plug in your you know, power charge, the display lag is amazing. Like I need to say this was one of the first things I checked, because the shitty little lag on a Switch is trash. This will actually hold, and it will actually clip in pretty well. You can output stuff that you play. There's different designs. The little cracked button at the bottom can, you know, work as a programmable and as a display to show you what options you have on. It is honestly a very surprising and very good addition to the Switch. Switch is already very old. Everybody has had stick drift. Everybody has had to rebuy the expensive controllers or buy just normal ones. There are different versions of this. The single color one, like the black ones, are kind of normal design. You can have the GameCube design. You have custom designs also, and most of them are limited runs. And there are limited editions. You can buy like a normal edition with just the dock. You can buy you know, special editions where they come with a case, because you're gonna need a bigger case. It's not gonna fit in your normal Switch case. You're definitely gonna need their custom case to, you know, plug it in. It is honestly a great piece of Switch tech that, you know, if you you know, want something that's durable. As I said, it's bulky, so it's gonna work. And yeah, the programmable buttons are awesome. You also, very important thing, have a turbo button. I need to ask them that, and they confirmed it. You can have a turbo button. Now, this game is a little bit of a surprise that showed up this year, and that's The Last Oricure, or something like that. Final Cut. Well, whoever played this game when it came out knows that the game was kinda jank, kinda didn't work, kinda wasn't that great. But they promised to fix it, and they focused on it, and they spent a year to completely, you know, make it better. There are more weapons and armor now, co-op spells, maps, navigation is better, and basically they reworked a lot of it. So give love to the devs, give a chance for the game, because it has great co-op abilities, and it has interesting storylines and interesting ways you can change the story. More like, you know, 2 ways, but still. In any case, it can be local co-op, I think, or online, which is great. Not many games have this. And yeah, give the Final Cut a chance. If you have the game, try it again. If you don't, maybe, you know, see who does, and, you know, try it out. Now, a game that I couldn't find a trailer for. It probably has one on Steam, but never mind. It does not exist. A text-based game, text-based. It's text-based game. It has animations and all that, but it's pixel art. But all the commands you're gonna have to input through text. It is a reminder of the old Zork or almost Sierra-like games. It has an AI recognizing typing, so you know the AI is putting this in as a tool, not as a game making stuff. So you can still type in a lot of crap and get who knows what, but the AI is there to kind of figure out what you want and try to, you know, answer to you correctly. It's an interesting small game, but it is from the Dread XP guys, or like their parent company. And Dread XP guys are great because they have some of the funniest stuffs ever. One of them is Sucker for Love, The Day to Die. This is a second game. Like, this is a full-on new game. It's gonna have only one date, but it's gonna have cameos, and it's gonna have a more, you know, focused story around that. In terms of that, it is going to have another game. So there's going to be 3 Suckers for Love, and who knows what's gonna happen in the third one. We already, like, by this point, I think 4 great old ones that we, you know, we're gonna Sucker for Love with. It is a great game with great humor. Go check it out. Sucker for Love. Next one is My Friendly Neighbor, which is getting an update, which is cool. I still need to get that game. Please send me the game. I want to play it. The new Mortuary, also Mortuary Assistant is also getting a new ending. I can't wait to see some of the YouTubers that I follow to play it, if they get the information that there is going to be a new ending. This one ending is going to be more around, I forgot the name of the dude, but it is the original, the guy who runs the mortuary, the guy who hires you, Richard or something like that. And also a surprising thing, there's going to be a movie. I hope they hire a good director for, you know, jump scares and all that, because that game is jump scare central. What else do we have? There's going to be a showcase in October about new Dread XP stuff, a lot of new Dread XP stuff, and they have been, I think, currently one of the best indie publishers for like indie horror games. And if you have a indie horror game, probably look them up. Dread Delusion is coming with new content update and a free update. Yeah, that's that. Okay, Bandai Namco for press usually does a bulk. Usually for the last, I don't know, 5 years that this been running, they usually do a bulk presentation of all of their games, and then you can go and play whatever the crap you want for, I don't know, 45 minutes or so. The first presentation was, of course, Armored Core 6, which is already out. Everybody's playing it. The second one was actually something more fun. Park Beyond. It's the update. They basically, well, you can see at the trailer, which I need to full screen. I'm a professional, not. In any case, what they showed off was basically the 2.0 patch, which is coming to the Park Beyond, adding new stuff, new updates, Beyond Extreme stuff, new DLC, 300 new, you know, items, and cross-platform park sharing, which they promised, like, since it came out, and finally, like, what is this, a year or 2 years since it came out, where you get, yeah, this is the Beyond Extreme 2 missions. That's gonna be a paid DLC, but the most important thing is park prefab and sharing. So you don't need to share the whole park, you share just segments of it, or the whole thing, and that is kind of the thing everybody wanted, and it's gonna make the Park Beyond even more badass. What do we have next? We have, oh boy, Naruto and Boruto Storm Collection, coming November 17. Yay! It's gonna have an original Boruto story. Whoa! 130 characters from probably both shows. This is basically what this has turned into. Is basically we are not remaking. We are using the same bloody game, adding new characters and maybe a few new mechanics, and that's it. And we are, shitting it out every year. It's basically that. That's what the Naruto games have become under Bandai, which is probably fine for everybody who enjoys that. Everybody else is just the same thing every year. You gotta wait 10 years or 20 until it's complete, and then you can play the thing is you don't get the old stories, which sucks, but you know what I mean. What else? Outright games? I have no idea what I wrote that. Sword Art Online, Last Recollection, October 6th. Yay, more Sword Art Online, more action, more swording, arting. It's, again, one of the things with the latest Sword Art Online games. They're pretty much copy-pasted. Nothing new. Now, this is an interesting game. So, we might not be getting a new Dragon Ball Z game, but we are getting something from Akira Toriyama, and that is Sandland. I think this is a completely original thing. Like, I don't... Or no, maybe that was... I will need to research this, but this seems like a completely new and original thing. Of course, you're gonna recognize Akira Toriyama's design and ideas everywhere. It's very recognizable. But it looks cool. It looks interesting. It seems like a Mad Maxy kind of anime style game, which would be fun to play around and see what Akira Toriyama, comes up with this. And all the familiar designs and everything. It's gonna have like vehicle combat. It's gonna have customizations, lots of customizations of tanks that you drive, and it's basically vehicle the game, the anime, the sand. It's gonna be fun. But of course, there's gonna be like normal combat, vehicle combat, traversal, exploration, sneaking, of course, scaring. It's gonna be a fun little game. I would love to play this. I can't wait to play this. We have now, of course, Tekken 8. It's gonna have 32 fighters coming January. It's gonna take a while. With new store. Yay! New story. Sorry. So a new story. That it's gonna have a new arcade mode, which is one of the worst things that I saw, probably, because the new arcade mode is gonna be you create your own like a Nintendo Wii kind of avatar that goes into arcade and then plays with other people, which is gonna be like an online hub, and that looks very freaky, very traumatic, very not great. The last thing we were shown, and we were actually shown a full gameplay section of it, was Little Nightmares 3. The name of the characters are Low, and my writing here is sucky, so I have no idea what I wrote here. It's going to be a 2-player co-op, of course, also solo. With an AI controlling the other character, because there's going to be a lot of puzzles where the two characters are not just you stand here and you stand here, and that's it. One character is gonna need to go on its own to stand on something else far away, while the other character is doing something over here. There's going to be a lot of co-op that's not like, well, it is like It Takes Two, where different characters doing different things in different locations and supporting each other and getting all that. But it has that Little Nightmares vibe, the weirdness, the scariness, and of course, you know, it's co-op. That's good. We don't have that many co-op games that are that well made. Okay, another indie developer, not indie developer, another publisher that is publishing mostly indie games, that got me into to show me a bunch of games. Like even the ones that I saw, it's no, that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna bulk rush this. ES Digital has shown me Cats on Duty, a tower defense game with cats and zombies. It's totally not Plants vs Zombies. I mean Cats vs Zombies, but it's close enough. It's gonna have a match 3 mechanics. It's gonna, I mean, it's a jokey kind of game that you can technically play if you want with, you know, friends, or probably over. Not, I don't think it's gonna be on the phone, but you know, something that you jump in, play a little bit, maybe like on your Steam Deck, and then you know jump out. Next one is Awaken Astral Blade, which actually does look really good, and I want to check it out when it comes out. It's going to be a Metroidvania. It's an action game from China, and it has a mixture of fantasy and sci-fi. That's, you know, the best that I got from it, but the most interesting thing is, you know, the fact that it is a Metroidvania. Next, Memory Lost, a top-down shooter where you play as an AI and body snatching, which is interesting. Again, a sci-fi game where you can pretty much snatch another, because you're an AI, you snatch another bot's body and then you use its skills and you go around kicking ass at that, and then if he's not good for the current situation, you switch around to another bot and go around, which is okay, which is a nice mechanic, nice interesting idea. Shuyan Saga, a visual novel with fighting. Something that's not that well, I mean, it is new, but it is good that visual novels are branching out in other stuff. We had a musical, we had a kind of point and clicky thing with not just Sucker for Love but many others, and we had even like a point and click game with brawling elements. So I'm not gonna be against having a visual novel with you know, fighting mechanics. Next one, Sky of Tides, a visual novel again, but with RPG elements, and maybe TV series, maybe. But again, I like when visual novels branch out, and they have to, because the market is overflowing with them. Remedium, Diablo meets Doom with twin stick shooters and combos, alchemy combos. Well, basically, Remedium is you're an alchemist that needs to kill all the demons, and it's basically playing an artificer in D&D 5th edition, more or less, but combining the alchemy guy with the armorer guy, because you're gonna be making your stuff and then you're gonna be going out and shooting a lot of things. It's a interesting idea. The graphics are, you know, fun, so that might, you know, bring a few people who like just blowing up demons. Another one, Betelgeuse Alchemist, 2 alchemy games and 2 visual novel games. It has kind of like a Tim Burton style to it. There's a lot of character customizations. There's 3 classes, and it's around potion crafting and alchemy, of course, but there is humor and dark story in it, which is something that I like. In any case, I don't know if they're picking up on Atelier series and their, you know, success, but we are getting a lot of crafting specific games, and you know, you can focus on alchemy or magic or just regular crafting, so that's gonna be interesting to see how it goes. This is Tarisland, which I got a full chance to play one of its dungeons. It is going to be a free-to-play PvE game. The second closed beta is supposed to be coming soon. It is cross-platform, and by the trailers, this is basically, not basically it, but you're not getting a wrong image. This is World of Warcraft kind of design, but, you know, push through a kind of anime or at least Asian color palette and kind of like a little bit of design. It reminds me about a lot of games in its, you know, just basic design, color use and shade use, which, you know, you can see obviously, and when you know, pick up the first time to play the game, the inspiration in the look, but the colors are completely different. They are more, I don't know, vibrant, more fun. What else? It's going to be it's going to be a mobile also, so it's not gonna have a lot of skills. It's not gonna be World of Warcraft 20 bajillion skills, but it's gonna have a pretty tight dungeon running idea. It's going to be what the crap did I wrote here? Yeah, it's going to be a cross-platform account, so you can play on mobile and PC when you know, are not home. Or when you are at home. There's going to be UI customization. I asked them about that because UI was kind of on the demo. There's going to be 7 classes plus more. What else did I wrote about this? There's going to be quick catch-up mechanic for like leveling and all that. You don't need to worry about that, because it is going to be a lot of dungeon runs. The biggest thing I had against them, this is also kind of funny interview, because the devs that were supposed to come got stuck because passport issues, but now, you know, I could still talk to them over like a live video. And I had one issue. The game does amazing that's not even level design. It's basically showing you when the enemy is doing what, and if, you know, he's charging you, he's not charging you, he's doing a big AoE, not doing a big AoE. It's all very well directed and shown to you. But there is also one thing where the game actually yells at you, dodge, dodge, your ally is trapped, your ally is trapped, or like stuff like that. That's the only issue I have with the game. Please remove that or give it a toggle option. It is good as an assistive thing, but the game already does amazing in, you know, design of everything to show you where the areas are dangerous and where the areas are not dangerous. So if you played Final Fantasy XIV, you might actually like this. Like, if you wanted something that's like Final Fantasy XIV, but the design is World of Warcraft, you might find Tarislan as the best game ever. So Nightingale is going to have actually a 6-player co-op and realm cards, but the realm cards are not gonna work universally, like, I don't know, EVE Online locations. So if you put in a realm card and somebody puts in the same realm card, they might find a different procedurally generated world. Everything's gonna be, you know, procedurally generated when you go to another realm and all that. There are going to be some specific events and probably some specific cards to go to specific locations for progressing the story. But even the story is not gonna be, you know, the main focus of the game. It's again more like Valheim. If you enjoyed Valheim and wanted, you know, a little bit more shooty in your game, or like wanted to try it in first person, or, you know, have weirder like places than just normal Viking things, this is going to be a good game to try out. I didn't get a hands-on, but I at least talked to the devs and they seem really into, you know, their idea of the game. Kebab Studios has shown me King Arthur Legends Rise, which it is going to be an interesting Arthurian legend and myth. Of course, one of the easiest games you can make, or like easiest topics you can choose for a game, is Arthurian myth. We had a bunch of them, from insane ones to just, you know, crazy RPG ones. It is a good idea, and if you like, it's a good setting basically, and if you like Arthurian myths, you might enjoy this, as it's kind of like a weird different retelling and everybody wants to do something different. But this is going to be more on the lines of looking like Raid Shadow Legends, and you know, they might not like me comparing it to this, but it is. It's going to be a turn-based RPG. It's done in Unreal 5, which is amazing. It has a mobile and PC port, and it's gonna have 69 characters. Nice. It's, yeah, as I said, it's going to be like Raid Shadow Legends, more or less, in its design, in its gameplay show, in its, you know, basically fighting. But characters are gonna have their skill customization. You can switch them to 3 different types at any moment during, you know, the adventure. If you have those types unlocked, of course. And it's gonna be, you know, a lot of switching around depending on what you need for which segment or for which battle, which is good. It adds, you know, tactical customization on the fly. You don't need to get a new character that's like level, you know, 5-star, pay a bunch of it. You can just have one character that does 3 things, like 3 elements, basically. And you can, you know, or 3 types of, you know, classes, not really, but, you know, 3 types of skills, so you can at least balance around that. So you don't need to buy every single character or buy every new character or anything. You can probably go do well with the standard ones. What else did I got from there? There's going to be a lot of story. There's going to be a lot of focus on that. You're gonna have a clan hall, or basically a guild hall. It's basically your story is about rebuilding Camelot, and you know, seeing different characters portrayed in a new way. Of course, it's gonna be gacha for gaining new characters, but it's going to be free to play, so you know, you just pay for that. You're gonna have a cross-platform account, which is important, and story expansions are gonna be, you know, as the game progresses. They are. First thing, it's gonna be quarterly, but they plan on doing story expansions monthly, which is definitely gonna keep you playing the game if you wanna, you know, enjoy the story constantly. Okay, this is one of the games that I can't wait to play from the League of Geeks, and I did play it, basically the demo. John played Odyssey, and I I love that I got to meet the guys on Gamescom and talk about the game a little bit. Basically, what they told me, that's, you know, the most important, is we're gonna have Twitch integration, which is going to be related to the crew members. So you can give specific Twitch, you know, viewers or whoever, you know, gives more bits or whatever, a chance to become a character on the ship with their name and I think a bunch of preferences. They're still working on it, but who knows, they might add a bunch of stuff to it. It is a basically FTL ship management kind of thing with, you know, more not microtransactions, more micromanagement, where you can just tweak everything, and it's amazing. Like the whole game, I can't wait for it. Like I just can't. It's already out technically in early access, but you know, for the full version. Next, what? Yeah, the next year it's going to be at the launch. There's going to be big updates every 2 months, and I talked to them about like an endless mode, and if there is going to be like that, or like a calm mode where you just go and explore and stuff like that, and it is gonna be. They are adding that, and they wanna add a lot of things. I asked them if there's going to be mods. They might do that, but you know, it kind of depends. So they're working on, you know, making the game stable and run at first, and adding you options that, you know, everybody wants before switching on to mods and other things. And I mean, players are gonna do that on their own. Now back to Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Realms of Ruin. Yay, the longest name, November 17. It's going to be, of course, on PC, Xbox, and PS5, which is interesting because this is an RTS game, but not like your regular RTSs. This is This, I don't want to say it's Dawn of War 3 or something like that, but it's more based on smaller amounts of units and on just taking up points, which will gather you resources, and having a point for making troops. So it's not massive RTS, it's more toned down, to say the least. It has a specific controller setup called Direct Step, which is going to allow you to play and manage all of your squads better. It's gonna have cross-platform multiplayer. Single player can be, fought in 1 versus 1, or so yeah, it's gonna have a single player campaign, of course, and you can play 1 versus 1 or 2 versus 2. What is they have revealed the new faction, the Night God, which is basically hearing something from Warhammer, probably going insane with warp. Anyway, the Night God, every faction, which we now know is Stormcast Eternals, Oruk Cruel Boys, and now Night Gods, have different tactics. The Night God is going to be swarming tactics, like a lot of them, and they're not too strong, unlike, let's call, Stormcast Eternals, which are very strong and they have very few units. Next we have Conquest mode with random made maps, random rule changes, and seed numbers. So you can actually transfer, if you find a good map, you can send it to somebody, or like a challenge map, you can send it to somebody and they can try it out. They're not trying to make a standard RTS, they're trying to do a little bit more with it and add a few things not standard, a little bit more tactics, but also make it easier, so you don't need to micromanage fully like Company of Heroes and stuff like that. But you will still have to use specific skills of each unit. There's going to be hero units, of course. So yeah, do check it out if you think it's going to be interesting for you. Keep an eye on it, actually, because definitely for Warhammer fans this might be interesting, and it might be a more how should I say it, high fantasy, high combat. It's not fantasy in terms of like just smaller scale stuff. Escape from Tarkov Arena. The story comes soon, maybe at some point, for Escape from Tarkov. I don't know. The Escape from Tarkov Arena is basically Counter-Strike with Escape from Tarkov gameplay. It's literally that. Like, you can pick up your loadout, you can pick up specific character classes, but specific loadout classes, more or less. Yeah, you have preset loadouts. It's team fight matches, 5 maps for now, 4 game modes, shootout, team fight, 5 versus 5, and they want to make it an esport. They're gonna have 3 major tournaments and TarCon, a Tarkov convention. Woo, yay! It's probably that popular. But I'm waiting for some at least some semblance of a story. But this is basically your extraction shooter, and people like extraction shooters for the scariness of being an extraction shooter. This arena is what I said. Basically, Call of Duty, I don't know, not Warzone, but Call of Duty multiplayer or Counter-Strike multiplayer, just with the mechanics of Tarkov, which they have. They have good, sound mechanics, shooting mechanics, everything along those lines. It's basically, you don't need to, if you just want to shoot people and be good at it, like in these rounds and fights, play Arena. If you want to, have risk of losing stuff and all the other things, play the extraction version of it. And now I want to talk about one of the games that second game that I most probably want and was surprised to see here, and it's Homeworld 3. Fucking Homeworld 3, yes, just like I can't wait to play. I can't wait to play, and I did play it. I did play it on Gamescom. I had very much luck to get into it, but that's also luck in my skill of, you know, getting interviews there, because I don't have a PR company. I'm doing all this shit on my own. So me getting a chance to, you know, interview them and see and experience this is amazing, because it's all 10 years of my skill on going to Gamescom and how to get interviews, especially how to get interviews when you have no, you know, PR or anything. I know I'm kind of harping on this, but that's my fault. I need to actually make an effort to it, but this is more fun. The guerrilla style I do is more fun. Anyway, it's coming out February 14. I had a chance to play the War Games mode, and what can I say is they've added a lot to the 3D fighting and flying and shooting, and they need to add more, or like fix more, because what I played was kind of jank. Anyway, you can you know, terrain to explore, and what was I writing here? Oh, yeah, you can use terrain to explore, find, you know, hidden enemies, invisible stuff and all that. You can also you know, use it to hide your units, use it for cover. There's going to be not just, you know, random asteroids. You can use debris from other ships for that. There's going to be a persistent fleet for the story. It's going to be simulated ballistics, so if it shoot, you know, if the bullet hits, it hits. It's not like, you know, percentile. It, you know, if it fires, if your ship is there, when, you know, the bullet is there, it's gonna get hit. It's not gonna be like a lot of big, I think, cannon shots, and smaller ones are gonna be like, you shoot. What else? The story is about anomaly and a mystery to uncover. I think it's going to be like that expansion that was, you know, for the first game. That's one of the best expansions for strategy games ever. What else do we have? Yeah, there was Deserts of Karnak that was free on Epic, but that's past. New enemy incarnates, seeing inside the ships, so you can also get to know the crew. You get to know the new, you know, main character, the captain, basically, and a bunch of others. I think they're trying to kind of humanize it, where like in the previous game, you had banter of pilots and all that, but it was just that the expansion did a little bit more on humanizing its, you know, members and ships and all that. But I think they want to take it an extra step, which I don't know if it's gonna be good or bad. I don't know. There should be a demo. And as far for the War Games mode, it's going to be a roguelite in a strategy game in my homeworld. Yay! Anyway, it's going to be co-op of all things. You can have up to 3 people tackling a run, which consists of 3 missions, which get progressively harder. It's going to be random enemies, random objectives, so, you know, roguelite. But you will have permanent upgrades and, you know, with your commander profile. Also, you can switch between different starter carrier loadouts, more or less, or like carrier fleets. You don't get your, you know, mother base, homeworld kind of, not homeworld, you don't get your mothership, you just get a carrier. And then you build ships from it and you do missions with it. So if you die, you die. It's gonna have incarnates and Hegarians, I think, later on. But first, it's just, you know, the box standard stuff. There's going to be mods and tools for modding, but they're going to be on mod.io. So it's not going to be through Steam Workshop, or maybe they will do it somewhat. But it's going to have, the thing is, still, even without that, you can still do modding through the game directly. So it's not going to be a hassle of like installing this and that and all that. You just go mod through the game, which I want. I do want my Gundam mod for Homeworld 3, and maybe, I don't know, Warhammer or who knows what else, because that's going to be bloody as fun. It's going to have a 1-year DLC pass with, you know, more war game stuff. but if you don't want to do that, you don't really need to get it. I don't think board games is gonna be that much fun. I would much like to play just the regular. This is something they want to do as like a live service thing. So you know, don't forget about the game and you know play it and maybe become competitive about it. I don't know, something like that. So for Fat Shark, I've been to them to their booth and I've gotten a few interesting informations, but I did get Vermintide 2 and Dark Tide information. As far as Vermintide 2, maybe I should put that trailer, but never mind. We're getting a new career for our dear warm bright wizard, and the career is Necromancer on October 19th. Premium DLC. It's gonna have more levels in the works, and for everybody else probably, but they're adding new levels once a year or something like that. The best thing about the Necromancer is you're actually gonna have minions, so you're actually gonna spawn skeletons which are gonna fight for you, which might actually make me wanna try that class. I just play Kerillion because I wanna shoot arrows at everything, but this might actually be fun enough for me to switch around and play that at some point. Dark Tide is actually good. I tried it. I played it, played a little bit of a match, and I didn't die in the first 5 seconds. I died a little bit more because that was my fault, because I played the Psyker and I kind of exploded a bit. Or a lot. Never mind. But it is actually playable. It actually runs better than last year when I tried it and died just because. There are better, mechanics for objectives, for certain ones, where you actually need to pay attention to what you need to do. It's not just shoot everything. Then it's all coming with patch 13, the new approach to careers. There's going to be talent trees that you can switch around. You can tweak them. You can check this, check that. It's not as you're not gonna get fixed into one thing, and you need to check switch it around and check stuff out and see what works for you for different class, because each class is gonna have kind of like 3 distinct ideas, not trees, because that's all one tree, and you can just either hop around between 2 or like make your own combo, or just go down the line and get the main thing that you need. You can have also talent loadout, so you can have basically a talent tree for one type of mission, talent tree for another type of mission, and all that, and you can just switch it out, which is amazing. So you don't need to spend like 5 minutes tweaking it about. You can just get into it. What else? It's gonna be 1 point per level, so it's gonna be a little bit slow progression, but if you play, you're gonna get it. Free resets, because you're making literal loadouts. And on October 4th, it's coming for Xbox, and it's gonna have crossplay. Dark Tide is really a good idea, a really cool game. I want to play it, but it's something also that it's like kinda stumbled when it launched a lot. Broken Roads, it's coming in November. It's a post-apocalyptic Australian based game, so it's not just Australia, it's post-apocalyptic Australia, which is like, goddamn, why? In any case, it is a RPG, a little bit like Fallout. It's gonna have a 5-character party. It's gonna have kind of like at the beginning. This is an interesting thing that the dev that showed me the game there let me do is at the beginning of the game. You're gonna have a bunch of questions, and depending on how you answer, you're gonna have like a moral compass, which we saw in this sequence. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it's here. This is the moral compass, and depending on where you stand with this like cone, you will be able to get different kinds of give different kinds of responses, and in some cases you will have access to all of them. And if you answer like the red, it's your compass is gonna switch. It's gonna go towards that, or like this dot is gonna go towards that, and with it your kind of like moral compass is gonna change during the game. It's not gonna have a lot of chances to do that, but it's still gonna happen, which is cool and is welcome. But it's mostly gonna be like an RPG where you make choices. It's not gonna have like a concrete storyline where you follow it from the beginning to end. It's more like I think it's again more Fallout-ish, where you stumble into shit and then you kind of resolve problems, and there's going to be probably something big, some big issue at the end. What else can I say? There's not gonna be much character customization, but that's fine. You're basically picking up a few presets. But more is to come from, you know, the basic stuff that they've added and shown me. It's 50% voice acted, so like some areas. The issue about that is it's kind of like sometimes it's voice acted, sometimes it's not. Kind of cuts out, but it's okay. It's gonna have an open-ended story, not 40 endings, which I heard first, but like around 20 or something, or close to 20. It reminds me of like Wasteland, but Australian version also, and who knows what might happen. It has kind of like a good replayability of who knows what choices you make and how it's gonna lead to something. Now this is the game that I was absolutely surprised that they showed, and I can't believe I managed to get an interview with, and it's Tormented Souls 2. It's coming on Steam and Xbox. There's going to be they've succeeded. I like that they've succeeded because I love the first game, and apparently they've gotten enough support and enough sales to manage to make a sequel, which looks amazingly much better. It's going to be running on Unreal Engine 5. It's going to have a quick select for items. Yay! We wanted that, so I don't need to, you know, pause game and switch items to, bash enemies over the head with. It's building, of course, on top of the original game. It's gonna have new voiceovers because, I mean, to be fair, it was kind of cheap, but it did good work. The best thing is that they are actually focusing on improving every single aspect of the game. You're gonna travel. The interview was awesome, and I've got some insights that I shouldn't share, but also something that I can. You're gonna have multiple locations. You're gonna travel a lot between them, so it's going to be more, I guess, like Resident Evil 4 in that sense. You're gonna backtrack a lot, but of course, you know, this is Resident Evil like, as best as fucking possible as you can. There's going to be more explanation to the story, which I, you know, welcome. And the basics for this is her sister is getting sick, and you need to figure out a way to cure her. And you get information that this place where you need to go is kind of like has the cure, but also is very, very, very cursed. The very best thing that they added and changed, I did talk also to the developers, to the two twins who are developing this, which amazing guys. But the best thing that they are adding is use the save game options, like not difficulty like Resident Evil does. No, save game options. So if you want to play it like the original Resident Evils or like the original Tormented Souls, where you need a certain item to save, you can play that, but also you can turn that bloody thing off completely and then save as much as you want, which I want to save. I don't want to repeat goddamn sections 20 times because, you know, I died and stuff like that. Also, I didn't really die. I was a badass at the game, but in any case, that's something that I enjoyed in seeing and playing. Not playing, they didn't have a playable demo, of course, but I enjoyed playing the first game and I can't wait for the second. So, the Galactic Care. It's a very weird idea, but I don't know how somebody didn't think of it before. It's, you know, 2-point hospital in space, more or less. But also, every mission, because this is going to be mission based, is going to have some specific tasks that you need to do. So you're kind of building hospital per mission, but also you have major stuff happening in the background. Like sometimes it's going to be a space concert, sometimes it's going to be a space station that is producing food, but everything has died, and you need to figure out how to fix that. And of course, there need to be a lot of sick and hurt and tired people that you need. Like everything you see in the trailer in the background is a specific mission that you need to do and complete. There's going to be insane amount of customizations, like all of this weird stuff in the background. It's not just for show. It's not just for it's there to look cool. No. You're actually interacting with it. You're actually fixing a problem that is happening in the background. Like here, there is to be in concert, and something is happening while you have your medical station there to fix everybody who is drunk, hurt, or whatever has happened to them. It is a very, very interesting idea, and you're of course gonna have different kinds of people, different kinds of problems, different kinds of aliens. It's not just people, it's aliens as well. Let me save so you can see this proper. What else? It's going to have 11 levels, and it's very cartoony, very nicely designed, very fun design, and some specific characters, like let's call them hero characters, are gonna have specific mechanics and boosts, and you need to build like a hospital around some of them. And also, of course, aliens have different needs, different types of fixes, a lot of customization. There is going to be kind of like an endless mode, because the moment you finish the mission, you're kind of, you can play, you don't need to go to the next one. So it's management game, but very well designed. Like what I've seen and what I was shown, it was extremely well designed. Detained, Too Good for School. A very anime beat 'em up game that is also open world, that is also well, not Persona-like, but you talk, you have consequences, you have upgrades, you can build weapons, you can upgrade your character, you have different kinds of stuff. It is, except for the fact that a lot of the animes are very, very much too copy pasted and too bland. Everything else is pretty well done for like I think first time indie. There's a lot of references, but also it needs a little bit of tweaking in terms of like gameplay and beat 'em ups, like the hitboxes. But I am very, very surprised at how much options there is for this, or how much you can go and explore and play around with. Again, it's a game I didn't expect to do. I don't know, to be surprised, but I did get somewhat surprised, and I enjoyed the demo that I played. There is, of course, room for improvement, but if the game does well, it might as well get a second sequel, a sequel that is going to be even better. So, Dustborn. It is one of those recent types of games which have started to, the genre is starting to build up, of like a road trip game. Road 96 did it, and a bunch of other smaller ones did it, and of course they're already trying to adapt on the mechanic. The biggest mechanic here is words have power. So during the conversations you can actually influence people. You can literally mind control, force them to do stuff. Or not just that, different kinds of powers of words can have different effects. And what you can see in the trailer, there is a kind of action schlocky beat 'em up section, which is very jarring compared to some of the other sequences, and kind of funny when you see it and when you play around, or when you actually start beating up others. So it is a good game. It is an interesting game to say the least. It is, I don't know how it's gonna end, but it has some interesting mechanics to keep you around, and some nice uses of like words have power. So because, as I said, different people, different words, different meanings of that. So one of them also can gaslight you into like feeling good while you're still bleeding out and shot. It's very, I cannot say anything. It's very imaginative, to say the least. The trailer doesn't look good, but like when I got inside to test out the game, and I was shown the gameplay, and I was shown how it runs and goods, it is truly something that can be very, very good. It's an action again adventure road trip game. Words have power, interactive camera while dialogue goes around. You can change the camera angle, but that's not that, spectacular. It's inspired by graphic novels. That's kind of like a theme. That's how the dialogue goes. That's how the camera goes. It has time dialogue options. Okay. It has an original sounds and music. The comic books also. Yeah, this is a fun thing. Once you complete the game or a section, you get a comic book of like what you have done and what you have interacted, and you can send it to friends so they can read your side of the story basically, or show them to friends, and they can show yours. The brawler combat is with combos and shouts, no, I'm not joking, it's shouts, it's literally fusroda. But that won't work on like robotic enemies. You need to figure out some different ways to stun them or control them and influence them, which you still can with different kinds of words. And it's gonna have a story mode difficulty for people who just want to enjoy this Funga, the Time Shift Warrior. This is one of the games that also very much surprised me because I didn't know what to expect. From what I saw, it was like just a action hack and slasher, but you have 18 seconds to defeat a bunch of enemies, and you cannot defeat them with just 18 seconds, especially later on when it gets insane amount of enemies. But you can rewind time. You can, as you can see in the trailer, there is two of them, like one is glowing gold and one is normal. So if you have like 3 paths, you can go down one path, kill all the enemies, then roll back time, go down the middle path, and then roll back time, and then go about the third path. So it's basically creating copies, but also rolling back time so you can clear the areas. And it's not just gonna be multiple paths of enemies and like difficult enemies. No. There's going to have puzzle elements because all of these like in small arenas, and it's gonna be more and more complex. Like in the first barely like half an hour that I played, I was introduced to so many different mechanics and different stuff that need to account for during your multiple person run. I also broke the game, so I couldn't see the first boss fight, but I expect boss fights to be equally kind of insane in that kind of sense. So keep an eye on this Fungi if you want an action RPG that isn't just Diablo killing everything, because trust me, this is much better. It's very much Still Wakes the Deep is going to have a documentary on how it was made. It's going to be a first-person narrative horror game. It's going to be set on a oil platform. I think it's not maybe 80s or something like that, but in the past, offshore off of Scotland, I do believe. It's from the developers from the Chinese room. It is. Let me see if I wrote where it's from, so I don't. Yeah, I didn't really wrote from this one, but it's gonna have that kind of English, let's say the least. So you might not understand some of it, but I'm joking. It's a good. They've really done the setting proud, so you can play in specific areas. It's going to have no resource management. It's gonna have monster chases. It's gonna have stealth sections, so it's gonna be like Amnesia a little bit or Soma. It's gonna have light puzzles, almost none, or it's basically I need to get that valve, and the valve is like in the room next door or something like that. It's mostly focused on exploration and survival and kind of like the feel of dread of what has happened on this oil rig and how you need to escape from it. There's quite a few horror games that are sticking us in like these places of either space stations or underwater bases. We're getting a new Command & Conquer! Yay! It is a mobile game! Woo, no! God damn it! Command & Conquer Legions is coming in the fourth quarter of 2023. It's, I mean, Level Infinite, EA, blah blah blah, all of them together, Tencent, Yorha. But it is still a mobile game. You will be able to play as GDI, Nod, or Cabal. I think Kate is back. Also, it's gonna have new art style, more realism to it. It's gonna have heroes, of course, from GDI, Nod, and I think new guys I've forgotten. It's gonna have, of course, super weapons, real-time strategy, PvP, side quests, and of course, it's gonna be pay to fast, or like to, you know, monetization to increase speed. Like half of this is good, and the other half is awful. Just give me a single player, campaign-driven Command & Conquer, because from what I saw and how it was designed, you're gonna have this giant map where factions are gonna fight. And it's gonna have, you know, bullshit stuff like, oh, I need to go to sleep and my base gets raided, or other stuff like that. I just don't believe this is going to succeed. Like, it has good developers, as I said. It's Level Infinite, Electronic Arts, and Yorha Studios, but it's just the idea behind it is it's just not something that I look forward to. I'm sad for this game. I wished it was, you know, better, but who knows? Something might happen, depending on how you can conquer bases and all that, because people can't just stay up and awake all the time. Okay, Expeditions, a Mud Runners game, a new Mud Runners game. If you played any of those, you will know what insanity you're gonna get into. They've made it, unlike some of the other ones, they made it more intuitive, faster gameplay, map searching, you know, with a drone, so you know where you can go. So yeah, if you played SnowRunner or Mud Runner, you will know how that goes. You can have like a tire inflation system, an auto winch, which is gonna, you know, winch to the closest object that you can winch to. You can have like even not power-ups but gadgets, like a winch that you can not winch, a point that you can, you know, place, an anchor, as shown in the trailer. So you can, you know, make a place that you can winch onto. There's different missions that you can, you know, need to do, not just locations to get to. There, as I said, gears and gadget. You can play in co-op mode. You can shift gears. There is a day-night system where, of course, night it's gonna be awful to drive in. For now, what we saw was like the Grand Canyon and a foresty kind of locations, but there should be more, and there should be some kind of a story at some point. It is, I mean, for people who like the Mud Runner games, or like SnowRunner, Mud Runner, and that kind of like experience and difficulty in driving through those kinds of locations, this is gonna be just an awesome continuation. And that's, you know, pretty much it. Another pleasant thing that I got a chance to play was Space Marine 2. It is amazing. Like, there is some jank and you know, balancing that you need to do, but it is so much fun, so much more than even the first one. It is basically Doom Eternal just meets Warhammer. It is insane how much stuff you can do in the game, and how you can, you know, end all of these enemies, or, you know, Tyranids. And to top of that, you can play it in 3 people co-op, because you have a squad. You technically have a squad constantly with you. You're not just going alone, but you can at any time, you know, drop in, drop out with friends, and, you know, you can get onto that. I also got one very specific and you know, secret information for now. They're gonna reveal it pretty soon, or you will figure it out. I think some of the Warhammer, you know, experts probably figured it out from the design on our main character, but you know, we will see how they were gonna implement that. It's gonna be Tyranids that I fought for now, but who knows, there might be some new other enemies. We will see. The thing is, I had so much fun playing it. It was after you figured out the controls and how you should play around all of that. It is I'm not gonna say easy, but it is you get into the swing of it, and then weapons and then combos and executions. It just. But again, I'm getting myself back into Doom Eternal, and with this feel. Toverborn again is something I just got a chance to check and see. It's from the creators of the Banner Saga, but it is a lot different. It's basically a side-scrolling beat-em-up, but kind of also MMO-ish, because you will have this tower, this belfry, as a social zone, and then you pick a hex and you go into it and either do a mission, which is randomly picked, or you just clear out the zone. There's going to be some heavy character customization. There's going to be kind of like a trial single player, and it's basically, it's co-op, but it is kind of MMO-ish. And you will, so for some, missions definitely need a, group of people. As for the ever-changing, story and world, it's basically just like seasonal maps and story. It's an action brawler. Weapons are determining your class. So for now there are 4 weapon types. As far as I remember, it's like sword and shield, a big club, a bow, and something else ranged. I think it was, or it's like a spear cannon kind of thing. It has the same composer of music as Banner Saga. It's from the same creators of Banner Saga. They just wanted to make something to play. From like their description of the devs, they just want to play something, to make something that you can play with your family, basically. Also, every mission is around 10 minutes, and no skill trees, just weapons, loadouts, a bit of mod slots. You can couch co-op, and there is of course going to be matchmaking. It is an interesting idea, but I don't know how much it's gonna succeed. The design is cute, might be like a good family kind of game. Robocop Rogue City, from the developers who made the, publisher Nacon, but whatever. From the developers who made the, goddammit, Brain is shutting down apparently. Terminator game, yeah, the latest Terminator game. And from what I've seen, and I've only gotten a little bit of the demo shown to me or like gameplay, it is goddamn Robocop. Of course you can be killed if you get shot too much, but it is that you're moving like Robocop. You can pick up stuff, you can do a lot of aiming. It's very much like you're looking through his eyes with all the computer let's just say sight. It's not shown here, but you can see it. It does follow, like, I think it's the stories between the first and the second game, or like the second game, or movie, or like between the second or third, or something like that. Because of course we see some of the well-known bots show up. I think it's first and second, and yeah, that's surprisingly, but this developer team is just such an amazing surprise. Like I want more. I want them to pick up more kind of things, or like more, make another Terminator game, or make more Robocop games. It's just amazingly fun what they did. One of the last few, not last few, by the end of the convention, or like the business area, because they split the business area and the exhibition area, games that I got a chance to not only interview but mostly play, was Ghost Runner 2. It's more of the same, but also we get a goddamn bike, and this is what happens. Like this in the trailer, this happens. It's a spoiler. It's not. It's in the first 5 minutes of the game, but this is exactly what you're gonna have get to experience. In any case, the game, except for the bike, which I think they should tweak a little bit because it feels weird to pilot or drive. Everything else is very solid. There are more of the same gameplay, but also a lot more of the new story, or basically continuation of the story of the first game. I think it happens like a few months later. And yeah, we have new features, new motorcycles, blocking, ultimate skills from the new stuff, and what is going to be the biggest change is that we're going outside, so we're not gonna be in this tower anymore. That happens like in the first 15 minutes of the game, so 20 minutes, so it's not a spoiler, it's basically the story. Once you're outside, you're gonna have kind of like a hub area with NPCs that you can talk to, that you can get side missions from, or like time challenges or stuff like that. But that's gonna be like a hub area, and then you go into a specific either side mission or main mission, and then you come back and do all that again. That's going to be the plot for Ghost Runner 2. It's gonna have 1 year of post-launch support, which is gonna yield new cosmetics, free game modes, and of course the game's gonna have puzzles in the form of either how to deal with a room of enemies or how to find certain hidden stuff, which I did. I played the demo, finished it pretty quickly, and with as few deaths as possible, even though I think I'm kind of somewhere high on the leaderboard, because they had like a board you can write down your score and kind of show off. I'm proud to say that I'm amongst the top, because I was surprised. I thought I was going to be amongst the bottoms, but nope. Talos Principle 2. Oh boy, oh the puzzles, oh boy. It is a full continuation of the story, happening like I think 1,000 years into the future. If you know the end of the first, you will know what this means. It's gonna have actual, NPCs, dialogue choices, so it's not gonna be just you doing puzzles. There's going to be actual other people, quote unquote. It's gonna have, even amongst the puzzles and all that, it's gonna have a political and ideological conflict. Choices will matter, and there is going to be, of the new area that you're gonna do the puzzles in, it's gonna have 12 areas in the new island, plus the golden puzzles, plus the kind of like there was like hidden puzzles as well. So solving puzzles will change the ending. So if you solve every single puzzle, you will have a different ending than somebody who solves just the necessary puzzles. Which again, this is for puzzle freaks gonna be the most fun time ever. But the important thing about difficulty in the original Talos Principle, once you did a puzzle and did a puzzle and did a puzzle, the kind of difficulty curve was like this. It kind of went up, like you standard kind of increases. This game, because it has 12 areas, and also like in those areas you have, because I can't show it here, but there are like certain gates that you need to open, and to open the gate you need to do like 7 puzzles or something like that, and you need to do that a number of times to progress through the game. But in order to open those gates, maybe not 7, maybe like 4 or something else, but unlike like the difficulty curve to just go up and just be more and more difficult, even for like new zones, because you will be going like the first area, I think you go to 2 or 3 zones, and then you do puzzles in there, but you can go do a little bit of puzzles there, then come back to the other zone, do puzzles there. It's gonna be, I think it's gonna have fast travel, so you can just zoop around all of the zones. The thing is, it's going to be more like a wave, so it's gonna increase in puzzle difficulty, then gonna drop to like an easier, but then increase again, and then drop again, and increase again, and drop again. It's still gonna like progress, probably like it's not gonna be just a line. It's probably gonna like increase, then drop, and increase, and drop, and increase, and drop, and increase, and drop. So you have kind of like an easier time with puzzles. It's still gonna keep the mechanics, but in the next zone you're gonna get the easier one, and then that's gonna increase, and that's gonna increase, and that's gonna increase, and that's gonna increase. As for Talos Principle, I think this is a good change. This is a good change for puzzles, because it's gonna keep people more or less into it, or at least it's gonna keep. You're not gonna break. Basically, you're not just gonna hit a wall and stop and not do anything. Okay, if you want something new in your Dark Souls, then this is probably the best thing you will be finding in the recent times. It's called Nortia, The Last Song, and it is, I'm not shitting you, Italian-based, Italian-based Souls-like. It is, everything is based around that. You have the Renaissance, the masks, the rapiers, the fighting, the design, the look, everything. It's based, I think, if I wrote this correctly, on Commedia dell'arte. As I said, Italian-based team, Italian-inspired, like the design, the clothing, the look, everything. It is it has stuff that you might also like. It has quick parry, it has a stagger bar. You can, let's say it like this. You see, it's not just your regular Souls-like. You're basically building your character around the masks that you have and skills that you put in your mask. You can do traversal in the form of not just exploring and running, but you can use certain locations to create or open up some areas, and that's like only while you're still in that area, and after you leave that kind of disappears, but you will have an exploration of a lot of things. It's gonna be just not just fighting and killing. It's gonna be a lot of puzzling as well, specifically if you want to find those hidden bosses, or if you want to find the best loot possible in the game. So every time you poke your nose everywhere else that's not normal, it's gonna be you'll find certain things, you'll find hidden stuff, so you will be able to explore and discover things that you didn't expect are there, and get rewarded for your exploration. The thing that I found it interesting is how they're trying to tweak around the Dark Souls formula, but it's still kind of difficult. It is still hard to balance, and I don't think they found the perfect balance around that for now. The game is still gonna come out, who knows when. It's just been showcased. Well, no, it was showcased last year, but it should come around somewhere. It's from developers who are experienced at this. They just wanted to make something new, but it's difficult to balance out when multiple enemies. And what I had, well, I'm bad at these, but still, I had kind of a lot of difficulty when there were more enemies on certain locations. But not just that. You can interact with certain areas or with certain NPCs if you have a certain mask. So you can disguise yourself with like a soldier mask and go through some areas where it would be difficult to fight them, or if you don't want to fight them. There is a certain amount of XP, so you can level up your class and trees. The sadness, I kind of forgot about that, but the tree and the leveling is also highly rewarded on your exploration as well. So you need to experience everything in order to get everything unlocked, more or less, which is again an amazing feature for this game, because usually Souls games reward you with stuff if you're exploring, but not to this extent, not to your character building almost extent. In any case, that was kind of like 30 or something, more or less, almost, interviews that I did this year on Gamescom. I wish I did more, to be honest. There are some games I missed, some games that I couldn't get a chance to get into to review, or some games that I literally just forgot I had an interview with, or forgot that were there and couldn't get in time. The business area was amazing for the 3 days. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of cool experiences. I can't wait to come back to it and see more of it. I will actually cut it here because it's already been too long and I didn't expect to talk this much. But I will come back with an additional video maybe two. One is definitely going to be showcasing or unboxing or just what loot I got, because there are interesting loots each year, and last year was very specific for one thing, but I'm not showing off that. But it's gonna be that, and it's gonna be just showcasing and talking about Gamescom in general. Like, how is the exhibition area? How is that? I'll show some videos and talk about like what the general experience of it. This is my experience as press. This is my experience as somebody running around the business area for basically not 10 years, but almost, since I didn't start that from the first year. And not even a few years later, but I did, and now I'm a member there. People know me, recognize me. So until next time, do the like, subscribe, comment, dance. Check out the rest of the channel. Check out what else, what videos or video games I'm playing at the moment, and check out Patreon if you want to support me for anything, or on Twitch. So I do this live on Twitch at By Pen and Paper, or on YouTube at By Pen and Paper. Till next time, as always, it's the stories that we play and Gamescoms that we visit, I guess. Bye.